Foxy, how are you this morning? Are you gonna get a checkup? We're having the vet out this morning, and it's not because of Winter or Lovey. We had already planned and scheduled for him to come out today, but I'm actually quite pleased that he's coming just a few days after the birth, because he can just check everyone over, give us some suggestions on whether or not we should worm Lovey, because she was already wormed a few weeks ago. But I'm excited to hear what he has to say. The vet should be here any minute, so I'm gonna run up and get everybody. Woo, so bright. And we'll be prepared to greet him when he gets here. I don't know that people could be any more excited about a doctor's visit than we are today.
Ryan's helping.
Good job.
Hi Mom, I play Daddy's song.
That's Mommy's sock. Good job, teamwork, guys.
I'm gonna tune it on a tiny bit for him.
So are you excited about the vet coming today? Woo, what do you think he's gonna tell us? This is so sweet.
So Dr. Justin Jornigan is here. We're really excited. He's gonna look at all of our goats. We're gonna test him for certain diseases. We're gonna do fecal parasite testing, and he's just gonna give us some insight as to how we're doing, trimming hooves, and anything that we could be doing differently. So we're super excited about meeting him and also him teaching us about our goats.
Are you guys accustomed to looking at that?
Yes,
Yeah.
but we don't really know what we're looking at.
Okay,
I
good. So the easiest way to do this is to have somebody hold like Megan is. Remember, they have thin necks, and if you close off their, if you squeeze too tight, they fight like crazy because they don't have a very thick muscle around their neck, so they freak out. They also don't like neck straps. If you're restraining them good,
Okay.
we love to use sheep halters because, again, they don't have a very thick neck, so any minor pressure at all cuts off blood supply and cuts in the airway, and they fight more.
Interesting.
I'll show you one of those. I have a little one. I'll show you how easy it is to handle.
Okay.
You're silly goose. There.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good color. I mean, they'll go as wide as this.
Oh wow.
So that's pretty decent color. Good
So
red. The bottom.
They were pretty pale about a month ago, and we did worm them. But my question for you, and we used whatever you gave Rochelle.
That's plenty of time to do a fecal to see if they're low now. 2 weeks after deworming is kind of the best time to look.
Okay.
And to make sure they're clean. So I brought some stuff to grab that.
Okay.
A couple other things. Milk's been okay?
So far, so good.
Good.
So she just had the one baby, so I've been checking to make sure she doesn't get lopsided.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we milked her out today just to see, and it seems like the baby's getting it.
Okay.
And it seems like she's getting both sides,
Yeah.
because, yeah, it was nothing to
You
really
probably
get.
have. She might be a dairy bar for a few other beggars.
You think so?
Sometimes they wet just a little bit.
I need to talk to him.
So I wanted to show you guys feet. I'll take a look at what you've done, and I'll just show you my spiel on it. It looks pretty good. The thing that people tend to be afraid of are the heels. They do have to be trimmed. Okay. So what I usually show folks is, use the tip of your clippers, get it all cleaned out. The basic premise of it, which you figured out, is the outside wall tends to overgrow here, and so we take that down. The goal here is to have a flat hoof from the tip of the toe to the heel. All right. So you can use your shear as a guide. You can see if that heel bulb is taller. So what I do is, just make that flush there. Okay, don't be afraid of the heel. What tends to happen is, over time, this foot gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And they won't be walking on the whole foot.
Okay.
And so if you just make sure you get those heels back to the widest part there, so they're using the whole foot.
Got it. We'll do.
All right.
Great.
Okay, so we're gonna take a blood sample. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
There's a little prick. She's not gonna mind very much.
It's okay.
What are you actually drawing it out of?
It's her jugular vein.
Okay.
That's the one we're going after here. Here we go.
Now, do we need to test for John's, or is that how you say that?
Yeah, we'll add that on.
Thank you, because we are drinking the milk. So should we stop until you get that test back?
We'll talk about milk in a second. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of opinions, but I'll throw mine into the batch.
What's those ones?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it though?
The stall is where they live, where they sleep at night. This is one of them. That's a big one.
I go out.
Okay, that's it.
You go out.
Okay, little sample. Dramatic. Just need a few pellets.
Dr. Justin was telling us that he actually uses saliva as a lubricant when he's getting fecal samples, and there's a reason for this. He said even water-based lubricants that you would use actually have a little bit of oil residual in them, and it makes it hard to visualize when you're actually doing the count on these fecal samples. I thought that was hilarious. Is drawing blood something you recommend for owners down the road? I'm actually a nurse. I don't do a lot of venipuncture.
Do it themselves. They'll do pregnancy tests this way.
Yeah.
Pull blood and send it off for the test after 28 days. It's valid.
I guess risk is you could go arterial and get in trouble. Really.
No big deal. Pressure. That's fine.
So now we're checking out Flopsy. We're gonna have him look at her skin condition and give us an opinion on that.
Grace, you want to show me that skin? Is it on her belly, you said?
There we go.
Okay. Does she lay down a lot?
Not that I've noticed.
Not very much. She likes to fight with the other.
She's got kind of flaky skin everywhere. We've been like moisturizing it and brushing it out.
Big chunks everywhere. But her belly is like cake on.
I guess we were concerned she had lice at one point.
I think she did have lice. I saw them.
Yeah, exactly. They crawl, you'll have flaking typically over the neck. Did you guys treat that?
So I treated it with diatomaceous earth, and I felt like they still scratch a little, but they're doing much better. But still, all the flaky skin and stuff is there.
I'm not seeing anybody crawling, which is
Yeah.
good. I think we just left with the leftovers here. The scaling is pretty significant. Anything that causes this kind of scaling, you told me they had lice, it kind of goes out the window, but zinc deficiencies in goats, that's the number one thing you see is scaling, generalized scaling everywhere. But with the itching, they usually don't itch with that.
Okay.
So it likely is was irritation from the lice.
Okay.
Now, is zinc something you test for, or is it safe to actually just give him an extra zinc? Okay.
We'll just give it and do it. And so the interesting about that is it's injectable because it's a primary absorption problem.
Oh,
They can't absorb from their gut.
Interesting.
And that can be permanent, and it can also just be a thing that happens. There's mineral interactions, particularly high sulfur waters, will cause poor absorption. Poor quality hay is loaded with potassium, which interferes with a lot of absorption of many things.
What do you think about our debudding job?
Yeah, they did a good job. The key is when you're burning, I usually put on, hold for 2 seconds, look and see if you got a red line or a red copper ring around both sides. Yeah. And then done. You can't overdo it. I've seen plenty of them that I lost from it. But just a couple seconds, look, got the red line.
What happens when you overdo it?
They'll typically get brain swelling, thermal injuries.
Okay.
And the neat thing about that worm, so the way it survives over the winter as it hits freezing temperatures, any adult worm that's living in the goat arrests, or they lay eggs that will arrest. They stop developing. They're not feeding. They're not shedding eggs in their manure, so we won't see it. They stay there for the winter. It gets around this time of year, they reemerge. And so the worms survive in the goat, not on the pasture.
Interesting.
So the key is that's why we do that targeted spring fall, is to clean them out.
Yeah.
If they've got anything they've been harboring through the winter, they're good for the grazing season. Anything they've picked up that we've not killed off with herbals or whatever during the grazing season, we get them again in the fall and winterize them basically.
You're wild, kids. You're amazing. It is a good place to grow up. Hey, Joy, I want to remind you that you had a question for the vet. Remember? Uh-huh. What is he giving you? Whoa.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Y'all like your blends?
Yeah.
You want a blend?
Would you like one?
Haley gets to play with this.
I bet she has some of those. We have some.
I always like it.
What kind of bee is that?
A honeybee.
What do honeybees do?
Make honey.
What are they doing on those flowers right now?
Getting pollen.
And what do they do with the pollen?
Make honey.
Do they make honey with pollen? They make honey with nectar. Yeah, the pollen is for,
The babies.
yeah, I think they feed it to the queen or something, don't they? You want to see some honeybees? You're a honeybee. You just sat on the honeybees.
Oh, seriously? Did we get stung?
He didn't really sit on, but he just sat right down on the crocuses. How do you feel like that went?
I think it was fun.
It was
It went
fun.
really good.
I just feel like we are incredibly fortunate to have a mobile vet in our area. Don't you think so?
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's actually kind of affordable too. I mean, it's expensive, but considering what, if they come all the way out to your place and all the services they offer, it's affordable.
Yeah, it's good.
Hi, are you gonna get us? You gonna get us?